All right, we have something pretty cool today, which is a continuation of this Turin or DF lineup of coffee products. Ever since my initial review of the DF64 Gen 1, we've kind of stayed away from Turin. I think that their build quality really kind of dissuaded me, and I didn't have a great user experience with that original grinder. However, recently, Espresso Outlet sent me the Gen 2 of the DF64, and I have been really impressed with the improvements that they have made in pretty much all areas, which is what made me even more interested when this box arrived, which is an espresso machine made by the same company. It's a DF espresso machine. It is called the Turin Legato, and I'm going to give you some genuine first impressions right here, because I have not taken this thing out of the box. I thought it'd be kind of cool to do it with you, because if it can live up to the build quality and bang for your buck of this thing, then I think this will be a major market disruptor to other machines like Gaggia. So let's crack open the box and see what Turin has been up to. Nothing like unboxing an espresso machine by yourself. Ugh. Decently nice looking box. It has been scuffed up and opened previously at Espresso Outlet. Obviously, retail boxes will probably not come like this, but I'm also noticing it does not say Turin anywhere on here. I'm curious to see if it actually says it on the machine at all. First up, okay, first thing in the box, not a great sign. We've got a dosing scoop and a terrible tamper. Not off to a hot start. There we go. There is the Turin Legato, and first impressions, very first impressions, this thing feels pretty solid. It is well built. These cup rails are metal, everything is metal. I kind of like this car tire feel on the steam knob. It's pretty cool. I've got a lot of stuff to peel off so we can actually get a good look at it, but super first impressions. Those buttons don't have a lot of travel. Super first impressions. It looks pretty good. There we go. Overall, that's a good looking machine. Let's see what the Porta Filter looks like. So far, for the price point this is going to be coming in at, which let me double check this so I'm not misquoting you guys. This machine is going to be retailing for $4.99 in the United States, which is putting it squarely in competition with the Gaggia Classic Pro, but we will go over the features this thing is packing. It vastly outpaces the Gaggia. So I'm really curious. That's why I'm doing a first impressions video on this. I don't often do those, but so far, not only is the build quality superior, at least on the outside, to the Gaggia, but the feature list on this kicks the Gaggia's butt. Let's see if the Porta Filter is any good. Something feels loose there. That can be easily screwed back in. Bit of a loose handle. No big issue. Honestly, it is hard plastic, but it's ergonomically very nice. It's a spouted portafilter. It comes with just one spouted portafilter. But again, I've had way more expensive espresso machines that have way worse portafilters. I'd probably put this at the level of probably the Rancilio Silvia. It also has a hard plastic handle, but it is a nice portafilter. So portafilter quality, on par with Rancilio. It is 58 millimeters, as you would expect. Pretty darn good. Let's hook this in. Let me get some water into this machine. Let me get it turned on and all primed, and then we will chat a bit about what kind of features the Turin Legato is actually packing. That is pretty quiet. Okay. That pump, relatively quiet, definitely quieter than a Gaggia. And what you are seeing on the front here, as I'm sure you have figured out, the Turin has a PID. Not only does it have a PID, but let's pull out the fact sheet again. We're dealing with a 1.7 liter water reservoir on the back, which is reasonably sized, it's not massive. So 1500 watts, it's a good amount of power. It'll get itself up to temperature relatively quick. We have 550 milliliter stainless steel brew boiler, and then a separate thermo block for steaming. So this is a configuration that we're starting to see more. It is one that I like because it gives you that dual boiler functionality, although with a little bit less power in the steaming, but it is plenty for at home. I said this when we saw the Deletta Mio. I hope we see more of these. And sure enough, lo and behold, here's another one coming onto the market. So for 500 bucks, you get a 550 milliliter stainless steel boiler and a separate thermal block for steaming. You get PID control, you get a shot timer when the shot is running, you get a programmable single and double shot button, you get a relatively good sized drip tray like we were talking about, relatively good sized water tank, 1.7 liters. What else? It is a vibration pump, as we heard. We're definitely not going to be getting a rotary for $500, but it is pretty quiet. So compared to something like the Gaggia, it's probably on the level of the Rancilio, I'd say, just off the top of my head. Definitely not obnoxiously loud. 58 millimeter Porta Filter, comes with one spouted Porta Filter. Let's test the steam arm here. I do not know if this is dual wall. Drum roll. It is not a dual wall steam arm. So you are going to get some milk kind of caking onto there. I would have been surprised if we saw a dual wall at this price range, but I'm surprised by a lot of things on this. So steam arm, it's being powered by a separate thermal block, but it is a single wall. So a bit of a con there. It's not the perfect Goldilocks machine. What else? It says it has a top cup warming tray, so this should get relatively hot. Again, we have a traditional boiler in there, so that's going to be a usable cup warming tray. What else? I find it actually interesting on the Espresso outlet website right now. It's also saying it is sold in other parts of the world under the names Karima, Jamelia, Apex, and CRM 300L. 307L, sorry. So, again, we know that this is a machine that is being manufactured and then branded under many different names, like we saw with the Turin grinders, but the Turin grinders have kind of taken the world by storm. They have incredible bang for your buck, and if this machine can do the same, other brands are in trouble. So how are we doing on temperature? We seem to already be up to temperature. Okay, so we've got the machine all primed. A couple things to look at right off the bat. If we press and hold the plus button, we get to the temperature adjustment. So I can adjust the PID here, 96, 97, that kind of thing. And I'm assuming that if I just leave it, this isn't the most sensitive screen, actually. Let's see here. Doesn't feel fantastic. It's definitely not the traditional PID you see stuck on most machines. Yeah, you probably won't be interacting with it too much. It's a little bit, you really gotta forcefully push it. So we're at 95. So again, holding the plus allows you to change the temperature, and then holding the negative button allows you to adjust pre-infusion, or I thought it did. Aha! 0 pre-infusion, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. How high can we go? 7, 8, 9, 10. Can I hold this? Holy smokes. 20 second pre-infusion. You can pre-infuse to your heart's content with this thing. Up to 30 seconds of pre-infusion. All right, we're not going to save that. Let's dial that back down. But so you get temperature adjustment and pre-infusion duration adjustment, which on this price level of machine is unheard of. So let's let that reset. Cool. I think we're all primed. Let's make some coffee. But first, what I was noticing is when you turn this dial, it's actuating the steam pump. You cannot brew and steam at the same time. But when you turn this, you can hear a click. And now you're getting your steam. It doesn't feel like crazy amounts of steam. It doesn't feel super, super powerful. It is a thermal block, after all. But again, for home use, that seems pretty darn good. So let's try to make a coffee. I have a basket and a grinder currently dialed in, actually, for the Gaggia. So that'll be interesting to run those same settings and see how it comes out on the new Turin Legato. Let me try to do the awkward lock in from behind again. There we go. And let's just see. I'm gonna run a shot. I'm gonna keep it no matter what it does. And we're just gonna kind of see. I think this is actually a manual button. So there's not a single and a double shot. There's a manual and a programmable mode. One single programmable mode. So let's see how this comes out. really hear it ramping up. And I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So we had that 5-second pre-infusion. Normally when you have a machine with a vibratory pump and pre-infusion, you kind of hear this low tone and then you hear it ramp. But we can see on the pressure gauge, we're sitting around 8 bar, so it looks good. It's definitely a slow flowing shot, but we'll just kind of let that go. Then we'll steam some milk and we'll kind of wrap up this first impressions. Listen how quiet that is. That is a quiet vibratory pump. There's no arguing about that. That coffee is definitely also super stale, so disregard the crema. Oh, I might as well hit stop there. Yeah, so that's the manual button, and I believe the button below this can be programmed to your shot duration of choice, so kind of interesting. Let's steam some milk. Again, awkwardly we'll try to do it from behind the machine. Judge this steaming pressure here. A bit of a short steam arm, but manageable. First time steaming on any new machine is going to be horrendous. Honestly, it's not bad pressure though. Not bad feeling. I think we're dealing with a 2-hole steam tip. I will check that. Okay, there we go. Look on the time bar to see how long that took, but reasonable pressure, probably similar to the Dilettas, maybe something like, it seemed a little bit slower than something like a Breville Barista Pro, but again, we're pinching for seconds. Milk texture, not fantastic. That's on me, not on the machine. Steam holes. Oh, we're dealing with a 3-hole steam tip, so that's actually interesting. Let's pour this in here. We're using the new Cruve cups, which are beautiful, the porcelain version. There we go. Okay. There we have it. The first latte on the new Turin Legato. Honestly, after just taking this thing out of the box, seeing it for the first time in person, I'm pretty blown away. I think that other manufacturers are in trouble. This thing is punching well above its weight class. I don't know what the current MSRP is for the Rancilio Silvia in US dollars. I know in Canada it is reaching above 1,000 Canadian dollars. So this is really giving the Silvia a run for its money. It doesn't have the steaming power of the Silvia, but you don't need that for home use. I would much rather take a PID, pre-infusion control, and having the ability to get steam on demand, whereas on the Silvia, you have to wait for the boiler to transition over, cool it back down before your next shot. This is just such a better system. And surprisingly to me, the build quality is there. Yes, it's only available in stainless steel right now, but this thing looks pretty good in my opinion. So we're going to have a full-length review of this. But right now, I mean, I will have this thing linked down in the description below. They're not shipping to customers yet. I think the estimate is currently end of December, early 2024. There's a shipment on the way to Espresso outlets. So you can get your name on the list, but I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't get this over something like a Gaggia. I mean, the biggest hesitation is obviously that this isn't made by Gaggia. It's not made by a big brand name, but you do have Espresso outlet if you're in the United States, who is great at supporting these kinds of purchases as if they were from a big brand. So yeah, look out Rancilio, look out Gaggia, look out Breville. Who knows what Turin is coming for next, but they are putting out some very compelling products recently. So look out for the full review of this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it. If you enjoyed this kind of first peek, first look, then leave this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.